Hello, my sweets. Welcome back to Beauty Meets DIY. I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy at home. And so today, before we get started, I just want to remind you guys to please subscribe to my channel so you get notified every time I upload a video. So here I am outside. It was a beautiful windy day, perfect day to watch these Dollar Tree pinwheels spin around, and it just kind of reminded me of my childhood. So that was fun. Anyway, now we're back inside, and this is going to be our DIY. We're going to need some of these tulips. I picked up 5. You can pick up as many as you want. I'm going to go ahead and spray paint them a mix of gold, a little copper, a little pink. I'm kind of just, going for that rose gold, and the stems are going to be painted black. While those dry, we're going to go ahead and use these tiaras, and we're going to use the metal part. You've seen me use this in my previous video when we created that jumbo wall coffee cup that you guys enjoyed so much. And so what I'm doing here is that 4 of them come in a pack. I'm going to take 2 of them, I'm going to glue them together, and then I'm going to twirl them just the way you see here. So that's 2 of them. Now I'm going to grab the 3rd one, and I'm going to kind of shape it. I'm just trying to create a bow here. And so right now I'm doing one side, kind of shaping it. I'm going to do obviously the same on the other side, and then I'm going to glue them together. And I'm going to go ahead and spray paint this as well with a little gold spray paint, a little copper, a little pink, just to achieve somewhat of that rose gold color that I'm going for. So while that dries, we're going to go ahead and start working on our tulips that are already dry, or so I think it was, or so I thought it was. So this is very important, you guys. I'm always very honest with you guys. These tulips are plastic, and they have kind of like a shiny coating on them. So if you want your paint to adhere to these tulips, you're gonna have to sand them, and you don't want to roughly sand them. You want to give them a light sand. You want to use a fine sand paper sheet or a fine sanding block, but you definitely want to sand them down so that your paint can adhere. Because if your paint doesn't adhere, then guess what? Your gems are not going to adhere. And believe me when I tell you that they were falling off. So it's very important that you give this a nice sand every tulip leaf. And then you spray paint them. You let them fully dry in between spray paints, and I recommend that you allow them to dry indoors rather than outside. I feel that things dry better and thoroughly inside than outside. But yeah, that's something that I wanted to share with you guys. I had to work with what I had at the time, but the gems were falling off because the paint just wasn't adhering. So my husband said you should have sanded it beforehand, and he was right. So I wanted to let you guys know. Moving right along, here's my bow. It dried, and this is the color that I was left with. And so now I'm just taking the gems and embellishing it right in that middle part with some of my little diamonds. And yes, this is my homemade gem pickup tool. While I wait for the one that I about to order to get here, I just had to get creative and create one of my own because it's just getting very frustrated trying to pick those up with my hands. Anyway, so here I'm grabbing some of that black rhinestone wrap, and I'm just going around both in the back and in the front of my bow just to give it an added touch. And so I spray painted the stems of my tulips black, but then I went ahead and finished it off with some of that bling wrap to give it a more finished look. And I did that obviously for all 5 of my tulips. So for our next DIY, you're gonna need to pick up these frames. These are really pretty from the Dollar Tree. They have kind of like that antique silver color is what they are. You can use as many as you want. I'm using 3. So you're gonna grab the backing, and you're gonna cut a styrofoam piece to the exact size of the backing of the frame. So the same size as the backing, you want to cut a piece of foam board. Now you can see that the frame has that rim right there, and then it has the upper rim. We're gonna use that rim right there. That's what you're going to use as a guide to create your box. And we're creating shadow boxes, so to speak. And you can do them as deep as you want. I wouldn't make them too deep, obviously, because these are foam, and mine was about 5 inches deep. So you're going to cut that middle part to the same size as the back of the frame, and then you're going to cut according to that rim. You're going to make your box. So let's go ahead and start with our first frame. You're going to grab the backing, and then you're going to go ahead and glue it to the foam board. Now I recommend, for the most of the video, I'm going to use my hot glue, but I do recommend for long term, as I always say, to use your strongest glue. So now you want to grab some pretty paper. This is what I had on my stash. I'm going today for that kind of like that glam, not antique glam, what's the word that I'm going for? If I remember, I'll let you know what the look is that I'm going for. It's kind of like a vintage glam. That's what it is. I'm going for a vintage glam. And so this part right here, we're not going to cover with paper because that's where our mirror is going to go. But the rest of the foam board, you're going to cover with your pretty paper. Now, very important, go ahead and remove your mirror. And then these little tabs right here, these are Dollar Tree frames. They're not the best quality. Please very lightly go back and forth as you see me doing here, and then just give it a little push very lightly because they do break easily, so you want to be very, very careful. I'm using Dollar Tree frames. Of course, you can use any one from the thrift store, from Michael's, from wherever. So now that you have your foam glued on to the back of your frame matting, now you want to go ahead and use your E6000 or your strongest glue along with your hot glue, and then you're going to glue on your mirror. Now you don't have a lot of time, a lot of wiggle room or a lot of wiggle time to put on your mirror, and I noticed that I wanted to adjust mine a little more, but the hot glue settled so quickly that I didn't have a time to adjust it. So I recommend that you kind of position it, but then don't glue it on completely until you're completely sure that you have positioned it to where you want it to be. Overall, it was okay. So now back to our frame. I'm going to go ahead and embellish it all around with this black rhinestone wrap. I'm just going to go around the trim on all 3 of my frames. Guys, if you're enjoying this video, once again, subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. They kind of let me know that you want more videos like this and that you are enjoying them. I appreciate every single one of you. So once I had that done, now since we're not gonna, apply any paper to our middle part because that's where the mirror is gonna go, we are not gonna go ahead and finish off gluing our paper to the sides of our boxes. And like I said, I have this in my stash. It kind of has like that vintage Paris, black and white, antique-ish look glam that I'm going for. So I'm using just regular glue from the Dollar Tree and, just gluing it along the edges there just to, make sure it dries pretty quick as I go along. So the little tabs back there, make sure that you position them upright the way you want them to, because once you glue your sides, you want to make sure that your paper print is facing the right direction. And you'll see as you go along, you're going to know that you're going to have to position it facing the right way. So again, use your strongest glue along with your hot glue, and then now you can start forming your box. And just make sure everything aligns and everything is straight. And now you want to go ahead and reinforce it some more on the outside. Now that trim that we were talking about, that's where you want to go ahead and glue your box. So again, you want to grab your strongest glue right there and you want to glue it on. Now you can definitely make these out of wood. That would be perfect because then you can obviously put heavier things on it. You're gonna need to use wood glue and even probably a few screw nails if you was to make this out of wood. But being that this is just styrofoam, it's gonna be a light piece. You don't want to put anything too heavy, but you know, something that can hold its weight. So here I'm just showing you that you want to cover the outside with some more pretty paper. Now an option is that you can stack these up one on top of the other, and in that case you will have to create maybe like a piece of wood or something in the middle. You can paint it the same color as your frames, and then you're going to be able to stack them one on top of the other. Or if you're going to stack them up in that way, this way on the wall, then you will want to move those little clips to, you know, have one on one end and one on the other. And these might not be the sturdiest, so you might want to find another method to hang these up if you're going to put them on the wall. So I recommend you doing that. But yeah, you can, you know, display these across or stack them up. You can create multiple rows. It's totally up to you. Now another thing here is that you want to keep in mind when you're building this, putting it together, you want to leave a little gap that's not too noticeable in the corner so that you can loop your lights through if you're going to use them. I decided that I wanted to light up my boxes. Now I'm going to leave a link down below to these awesome little lights. I finally got them. We're never going to go back to the Dollar Tree one. Sorry, Dollar Tree, but these are so small and compact. They're so easy to hide, and they are a decent length. So I will definitely link those down below for you guys. And I'm just gonna go ahead and go around the frame on the inside border and around the mirror. Moving on to our last DIY is a fairly simple one. You're gonna need a glass container. This is from Bath & Body Works Candle. Everybody has one of these little containers full of jewelry pieces that have broken off that you say you're gonna get to, but you never do. This is my little stash right here. Basically, I just grabbed a few chains from an old necklace, 2 black strands, 2 gold ones. The black ones are about 1.5 inches shorter than the gold ones. I grabbed a little loop at the end, the way you see here, and I'm pretty much just embellishing my vase with some jewelry. And I thought this was a great idea and a great use of that old jewelry pieces that you never get to, and so why not just put it to use? Right now that we're inside, we got to use what we have, right? So that's what I'm doing. So I went ahead and applied another loop on the other ends, and this is what you're left with. And this is just another piece of a necklace that I had. I'm going to grab another little loop, loop that through, connect them together. And basically, guys, it's just using what you have. I'm sure a lot of us, you women out there like me, have all these little pieces that you're holding on to. And you can just, this is a perfect opportunity to do this and embellish any vase, any candle holder. And that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to create more of these in my next videos. Definitely use your strongest glue. I'm using my hot glue here, but I do not recommend it for long term. Then you want to take this necklace and kind of loop it in the back, glue it on. And then I'm going to grab one of these little pretty hearts that I found in my stash, and I'm going to glue it there. And I'm just kind of, you know, creating my own little design as we go. As you can see, my chain is a little long, so I did end up cutting it a little shorter, making it a little shorter and then looping it again, and then you'll see the end result coming up. And then finally, I'm just grabbing this little chain right here, and I'm going to loop it there. and that's about it. And it's just a simple, sometimes, you know, less is more, and I wanted to keep on going, but my daughter was like, you know what, I think that's enough. We have, and there goes my hair, my messy hair on camera. But hey, all right guys, so this is the final result when it comes to our little Indian vintage glam boho chic inspired candle holder, I want to call it. And there goes our bow, the way that it turned out. I think it's absolutely beautiful. No one would ever guess that it's part of those party hats that we use, both in the coffee cup that we created. If you haven't seen that video, please go check it out. You guys absolutely love that video. Thank you so much for all the support on that video. But I decided to use that same little metal, you know, wire thingy to create that bow. And then this is how our tulips turned out. I think they are absolutely gorgeous. Now these stems were pretty long, I'm not gonna lie, so you could cut them down to your desired size if you want to. Obviously you would have to cut them beforehand before you decide to start embellishing them. I left mine the way that they were because later on, as you coming up, you'll see that I did put them in a tall vase, so they turned out okay. But here I'm just laying them here, kind of like when you come home from the flower shop or the market and you lay them down on your counter before you decide what pretty vase you're going to put them into. That's kind of like what I was doing here. And for our little shadow boxes, this is the way that it turned out. I think they are the cutest thing. Like I said, I created 3 of them. You can definitely use any frame, as I mentioned before. You can use wood, but these are the cutest thing. You can put these in a bathroom, obviously somewhere that doesn't have a lot of humidity because it is paper, it is styrofoam, but this is just really cute. You can place some toilet papers there, maybe some of those small little hand towels. Here obviously I have my little perfumes, my little nail polishes, that sort of thing. Just something light and airy, not too much, but this is so buildable. You can create 9 of them, 6 of them. You can display them across your wall. You can, coming up, I'm going to show you that you can put them, you know, one on top of the other, either on the wall or standing alone. So these are just different ideas and different options for you guys. Let me know what you guys think down below. I really value your opinion. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know if this is something that you would do, and if you decide to do it, what kind of look would you go for? What kind of paper would you use? Would it be something more bold and colorful? Would it be vintage? Would it be farmhouse? Would it be glam? Let me know what you guys would do. And here are our tulips in our vases, what I was talking about. I filled my vases with some pearls and diamonds, and I just wrapped a little bow around it. And this is such a unique conversation piece, I would say, right? Because, and it's perfect for spring, this time of year. I thought about this because I wanted to do something a little glamish, but something along the lines of spring, obviously. So I think it turned out really cute. I'm sorry about the lighting here. The room looks purple, but the room is not purple. If you notice in the first clip, the walls are a light blue. I think the sun was going down and the curtains kind of gave that illusion that the room is purple, but yeah. So coming right up, I'm going to show you the vase. I decided to put the bow that we created earlier, and right here I'm showing you that I added it to the vase. I think it's really pretty. I think it adds a little extra something to it, and so this is definitely another option for you guys to use. So again, you guys, let me know what you guys think. I'm always anxious to know what you think about my DIYs. Those thumbs up, definitely let me know if you like them, and they kind of keep me encouraged and they keep me motivated. You guys give me such motivation. You inspire me. I appreciate all the beautiful comments that you guys give me. Again, if you're not subscribed, please do so. And for those that are and support me always, I love every single one of you. Stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, everyone.